Alright guys, you haven't missed much. All we did was stick this cylinder in the boring bar. Now we're going to center it. That's what this does. Now we're clamping it down. So this is why they call it a boring bar. This bar is about 3 feet long, goes all the way down into the machine. All right, so you saw we centered it up, brought the bar up to the top. We're just going to slide this bit into the cylinder wall to make sure we have good contact and find our zero. And then snug it up. This is our starting point. This guy here we have set on 0 micrometer. So we're going to back it off a little and give it a feel, and it's still coming back to 0. So we're going to move it to 5, which is 5 thousandths. Since it's a circle, it's actually going to cut 10 thousandths. Loosen the lock bit up. We're going to advance the cutting bit into the mic head gingerly and hold it there. We're going to back off on here and make sure we're still around 5, and we are. We'll lower the bar. We're stopping real close to where it's going to cut. Turn the boring bar motor on, which is going to turn the cutter head. Right now the transmission's in the neutral position. We're going to advance slowly until we start to cut. We made one pass, cleaned it up pretty well, a little more to go. Bring the cutter head up. Back, check our 0 again. Yep, so we're going to come out another 5. Double check your work, lower the bar, turn the boring bar on and go slowly till you get the bore going. Okay, so we made about 5 passes. This last cut, we're not cutting 5, we're going to cut 3. That's going to bring us up to our piston size. You don't bore beyond the piston size, you need to leave room to hone it for the piston to wall gap. Each manufacturer has a different setting. Everybody has their way of doing it. I stop at the piston size and then hone to final fitment. So our last cut, we're cutting 3 on the mic, and that's going to remove 6 thousandths on the circle. We're going to double it because we're cutting a circle. Okay, so we made our last pass. We cut 6 thousandths out. It's measured to the size of his new piston. This one's by Wiseco. As received, the bore was 66.5 millimeters. Had heavy wear, so we went to 67.5 millimeters. And that's where we final bored it. We're not going beyond the size right here. We're going to hone for fitment, get our proper clearance. Okay, so here's the cylinder done boring. I'm going to get you a good look in here. You're looking at the circular cutting pattern from the boring bar. That's from the toolbar going around. What I want you to notice right here and here Those edges are all very sharp now in the ports, so we have to grind those back. We're going to use a carbide cutter to grind those back. That's the first step. We're also going to cut this edge here, so while we're honing, the stones don't catch on that. You can see the circular cutter marks there. That's what the hone is for. So today we're going to hone it to size with stones, and we're also going to cut those sharp edges back about 45 degrees with an extended carbide cutter. So this is some specialized tooling here. It's got a long reach, carbide. We're just going to gingerly, about 45 degrees, nothing like this or this, right here, knock that edge off. We're going to do this to all the ports. Top and bottoms of the ports we're going to do as well. I'm going to turn the cylinder around and do every edge. We're going to do these sides here and here. This aids putting the piston rings in so they don't catch on that sharp edge. You can see that chamfer right there now. 45 degrees, about 40,000 split. Alright, so the exhaust is most evident. It's the biggest chamfer. And you can see that line right there, right along here. See where it's shiny? All the ports are chamfered now. Here's a good look at the hone. It's a Sun & Hone. Has the stones, has wipers on it. The wipers are just keeping it fixed in a circular motion. They don't cut, they guide the stones. It's adjustable right here. The stroke on this, as well as speed, is very important, and I'll show you why in just a minute. You can see in there's a bunch of fine scratches. That's the purpose of honing after boring. This is what holds the oil on the cylinder wall to lubricate the piston and piston rings. They're very, very important. Those X's should be, that you see scratched in there, about 45 degrees, and that's why it's important for how fast you turn the hone and how quickly you move it in and out.